we still don't have brake rotors, so there's kind of not a lot to do with the front suspension, but it is together. Like, everything's tight, you know? And right now I'm just putting the headlights together because I painted the covers, or the little bracket dudes that we made for them. I'm going to put them in there and see how they look. I still want to make like a lens for these headlights because still not totally my jam. So I think down the road we'll make a lens for these dudes as well. I haven't closed the hood on this thing in a while.
That's okay. We're working on it.
It looks better now that the bracket isn't, like, doesn't pop out a whole lot. It's kind of there.
It looks like it's cleaned up a little bit more, you know, a little bit less cracky.
Still not my favorite, but I mean, like, you guys can see how it's resting on the intercooler pipe right here. So it's not optimal.
Oh no, bro, it's got some clearance.
It's not optimal, but like, it should be safe. So this should be straight. It's got a little bit of toe in right now, but we'll deal with that. It's gonna clear everything, which is super sick. It moves freely without touching anything, and it's not close to anything really. The closest thing, it's closest to the tension rod, but it's still like 2 centimeters away. So like, we're pretty good there. So we've got quite a bit of angle. I'm plenty happy with that. It'll be great for dailying. It's plenty for going to have fun on the weekends, and yeah, should kick ass. I'm pumped, and I won't have to worry about it moving all the time, and I won't have to worry about heim joints and stuff going out constantly. I get to keep the nice stock ball joints and whatnot, and be a happy little nerd. So I just set the ride height again. On the old angle kit, it was set up to be a drop knuckle, so the point where the hub was brought up like 1.5 inches. I think maybe
I saw that.
Maybe 2 inches. I don't know the specs on those totally, so don't quote me on that. But I adjusted the coil over to try to make up the difference. It's almost maxed out as low as it can be, but I made sure they were even on both sides. Yeah, everything's tight under here. I do need to torque the hub down, and I do need to put some cotter pins in as well, but things are looking good. Once we get those rotors in, we've got the brakes and the brake bolts right there. Man, it's like, it's so close to just suspension being done.
Oh, it looks hot.
It looks
it's nice. Hot boy AF.
So hopefully we'll be able to like get it low. Hopefully we won't rub on anything, but we'll find that out pretty quick. So I totally forgot that I had this. We got this doubled in stereo that we could put in. So reading some of the user's manual and just figuring out what all these wires are. You know, there's like positive, negative, and then you got your speaker wires over here. And then I went through everything like I said and got it all labeled. So now I think I'm gonna get Coose in here and we'll start soldering some wires together. So here we have the pigtail for all the speakers and whatnot, and so this stuff's pretty simply labeled. It's each speaker has a positive and a negative, and you can clearly see just the colors of wires, and run it back through to where your speaker wires go, and read your manual, look at your wires, be careful about it, and there shouldn't be an issue.
Nah.
Pick out some negatives. Strip all these wires down.
I think this is funny because I've played with those.
Okay, so we got the negative, we got the positive, we got the other 2 positives.
As a person, I'm demonetized.
Whoa, whoa, whoa.
Because electric feel is such a big bop, dude. I feel demonetized. Leave a comment if you ever feel like you're demonetized.
This stuff's really neat, but you gotta be kind of careful with it. It's like it's a heat shrink wrap that also has flux in it, and that flux just melts into all of the wires and it connects them all together. It actually works really well as long as you're careful with it. So you can see now all the wires are melted together, that little flux piece in the center, and it's got that nice heat shrink wrap. And those little white guys on the end are actually like they're like a glue kind of, so it helps the wires stick together. So these connector dudes are awesome. Got the next right rear. Just want to check that again. It'll be the negative. Ah, you fucked it, Jerry. All right, so all the wires are now connected. It doesn't look super pretty, but I'll cover it. I'll get a little nice shroud piece and zip tie it over that. Just clean it up a bit. But our stereo should work. And now all I'll have to do is put in those speakers that are sitting over there, and see if something happens.
Oh God, I can't believe I'm getting into this car again. Alright, so now we're both in the car. And as you can see, the dashboard also, it's in the car. So we had a little bit of a hiccup trying to get the dashboard over the handbrake or the emergency brake. But a couple of bolts got that undone. And we got it kind of in place, kind of.
There you go. How better?
Oh, is that it?
That's it. How better?
You're nice. Like,
there you go.
10, 15 minutes of work.
Not bad, man. Not bad.
Not bad.
Alright, and then we can, well, yeah, let's get this the rest of the way in. So, we're looking pretty solid. I need to put this guy up where it goes. That put in. Whatnot. Bam. And we'll get that doubled in, mocked up, and yeah, get that doubled in, mocked up. You know what really bothers me, Coose?
What?
When people are making YouTube videos and in the middle of their YouTube video, they just plug their merch. I don't know, man. I think it's ridiculous. Alright, guys. Well, the dashboard is back in thanks to the help of Coose. He just had out, but thanks, buddy. We got the double din in. The double din in. It looks great. Looks really sick. Okay, so since everything's in now, I'm going to plug in the battery and I'm going to see if it turns on. I'm going to go ahead and put the key in, see if anything happens. Take off the steering wheel first. See everything nice and safe. Well, we did our best to do something today. It's super late, and I gotta get this video edited and uploaded. Those little solder connection things they're good, but I'm guessing that one of those isn't making a good enough connection to allow power to go to the new bad boy. So I'm gonna go get some new solder tomorrow because we're all out of it, and then I'm gonna resolder the positive and the negative, and then we'll go from there. We'll get the speakers in for realsies and whatnot. Hopefully I'll get brake rotors and stuff in soon so we can actually get the car on the ground. We have to find a dual cam gauge cluster for the swap because the one I have is a single cam, and yeah, so there's still a few things that need to be found before we can, you know, really finish off wiring this car, but it's really damn close. It's frustratingly close. It's been frustratingly close for a bit. Thank you guys for watching. We'll see you in another video another day, probably Saturday. But, later.